Hello friends, welcome to the R Square. In the last video we have discussed about democracy, the meaning, definition, features part, and today we will discuss about types of democracy. If you have any doubts about what the previous classes, then you can call me, okay? And if you have not seen the last video, then you can go to the YouTube channel of the R Square, okay? And you have to see it. Then after seeing it, you have to come to this video, that is what, in which we are discussing about types of democracy. Listen carefully, pilamane. We will discuss about what types of democracy in this video, right? So if we will what generally divide the democracy, then basically two types of democracies are there. One is direct democracy, another one is indirect democracy. Direct, indirect, okay. So the direct democracy is also known as the pure democracy, whereas indirect democracy is known as representative democracy. In direct democracy, we will also discuss about devices of direct democracy. Okay, so basically there are three devices are there. In some books there are also four devices, but in your council book, okay, three devices are there. One is referendum, next one is initiative, the last one is recall. Are you getting pilamane? So you have to remember all these, and I will also provide you the class notes. If you want to note it, then you have to pause the video and accordingly you have to note it, right pilamane? Students, acha. So first we will discuss about direct democracy. Okay, direct democracy. In today's video, direct democracy will take the lion's share. Okay, we will give importance to this particular topic only. Direct democracy, what is it? As the name suggests, dear students, as the name suggests, here all the people, you remember I said people are the supreme power in democracy, right? The common people, the common men, all the people directly participate. They directly participate in the affairs of administration. In the affairs of administration. Okay, the administration will be directly controlled, or they will directly participate in the affairs of administration. Okay, all the people, right? All the people. Next, again, in case of direct democracy, all the people, okay, they assemble. वो इकट्ठा आएंगे एक जगह पे, ठीक है? They assemble to frame laws. बेटा क्यों assemble होंगे? To frame laws, decide policies, government policies, and execute them. How to execute them? They will discuss about it also. So we can say the people, they are the legislative, they are the executive. Are you getting my point? Okay. Direct democracy, listen, you have to write also this point. It was existed in Greece, in Athens, right? Athens is the capital city of Greece. It was first existed in Greece. In your first year classes also you know about it, that is city, state, polis. Okay, so it was existed in Greece. Okay, why pilamane? Why? So because these city states, were of small territory and limited population. Listen, if vast amount of population will be gathered in a single place, then how to control them? Yes or no? It's quite impossible. Okay, So basically direct democracy, this can be what possible in case of what we can say the countries having small territory in limited population. In the present world we can say in Switzerland direct democracy is somehow present there, okay, in their cantons, okay. It is similar to the state in our India, right? In their cantons direct democracy is still prevailing now, right? So this is all about direct democracy. This is the introduction part of direct democracy. Then we'll discuss about the basic principles of direct democracy. Okay, basic principles of direct democracy. Okay, pilamane, these are very what? These are golden words, because these words are mentioned in your council book, and for these words you will get good marks in your examination. That's why you should pause the video, and my suggestion is to note it down, right? Okay, so basic principles of direct democracy. There are some basic principles of direct democracy. Listen. So here people are sovereign. People are sovereign. People's decision is final. Okay, people, they are sovereign. Neutrality. Sovereign. Sovereignty cannot be represented. Sovereignty cannot be represented as it is what? In any level. So we can say basically sovereignty pilamani, it is a one kind of, it is a feelings, yes or no? So sovereignty of the people should be maintained in direct democracy. It must be maintained. लोगों को ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि they all are being treated equally. Okay, they are being what? They are being treated equally in case of opportunities, in case of what? Decision making, in case of execution of the certain policy, in case of implementation of certain policy, in case of planning of a certain policy, right? So here people, they are sovereign. Simply these are the keywords. People should make decisions. People should make decisions directly through referendum. Listen, we'll discuss about this referendum in the latter part of this video. People should make decisions directly through referendum. Listen carefully, referendum. Okay, directly decisions ले सकते हैं कौन? जो common people होते हैं, right? People should make decisions. Okay, any kind of decision. Okay, administrative decision. Directly through the referendum. And what? Decisions are to be taken. Decisions are to be taken through majority rule. Decisions are to be taken through majority rule. So the common rule of democracy, the common law of democracy, that is majority should be granted. In case of any kind of decision of any kind of what policies, majority rule must be maintained. Yes or no? In between the people. Okay. This is all about the basic principles of direct democracy. You have to write it down. Next concept is what? Devices of direct democracy. Devices of direct democracy. Devices of direct democracy. I have already mentioned, that is, we'll discuss about three devices of direct democracy. They are referendum, initiative and recall. The first one is what? Referendum. The first one is what? It is referendum. As the name suggests, referendum. What means? Referendum means refer to the people. Refer to the people. लोगों के पास भेज दो certain proposal. Okay, proposals को आपको भेजना है, किधर भेजना है? Refer to the people, right? Common people. A bill after being passed by legislature. Legislature can be anything. In our country, parliamentary type of legislature is there, but we are not for discussing about our country. We are discussing about direct democracy, which is not prevailing in our country, right? So, in case of direct democracy, a bill after being passed by legislature is referred to the people for their opinion or approval. Listen, in case of our country, in case of indirect democracy, these things is absent. Yes or no? अब direct demonetization होने के पहले हमको पूछे नहीं थे. The PM didn't ask about what is your proposal, what is your opinion. I am going to demonetize the 500 and 1000 rupees. So what is your opinion? What is the people's opinion? He didn't ask, right? Why? Because we are living in an indirect democracy. Here I am discussing about direct democracy, and one device is referendum. In this case, a bill after being passed in the legislature, it is referred to the people for their opinion and approval, whether it should be approved or it should not be approved. A certain amendment should be done in that in that bill, right? Then after being approved, if the people approved it, after being approved by the people, it becomes the law of the country. It becomes the law of the country, right? So this device is known as what? Referendum. This is all about referendum. Are you clear, Pilamane? Students? Next we'll go to the next device, that is what? Initiative. My humble request to all of you, Pilamane, students, please note it down. These are the keywords through which you can get good marks in your examination. Right? Next one is what? Initiative. Right? This is very interesting. Initiative. Here people can initiate. A desired law, which is not enacted by the legislative, If a certain policy, it is not being enacted by the legislature, it is not being passed in the legislature, then people from their side, they will approach to the government, they will approach to their ruler, so, and they will propose that, we desire these things, we need these things, and please approve it, right? So the entire scenario, the entire condition can be started from the people also, right? And this situation is known as initiative. As the name suggests, initiate, start karna hai beta. People can initiate a desired law which is not enacted by the legislative, right? The legislature accepts the proposal. Coming from the people, and it ultimately becomes a law. Are you clear, dear students? Okay. Then after the initiative by the common people, then the legislature will consider it, and it also accepts the proposal coming from the people, and it ultimately becomes a law. And the important thing is, Pilamane, if initiative is there, and finally the legislature passed the initiative, passed the bill, then further there is no requirement for referendum. Why? Because already it is being what came from the people. Yes or no? It is come from the people. It is derived from the people. That's why no referendum is required in this case of what? Initiative, right? Next, the last one is what? Recall. The last one is what, dear students? Recall. In case of recall, this is also very interesting. This is also very interesting. Recall is what? A process. It is a process by which the elected representatives of the people are called back from the office. Are called back from the office. If the elected representatives by the people, they are not working their work, they are not working their what? Activities properly. Okay, they just forget their duties. Yes or no? So in that cases, people have the power. Okay, they can what? Recall those elected representatives from their what? Office. Yes or no? अभी भैया आपको कुछ काम करने का नहीं चाहिए, आप चले आओ, ठीक है? आपको हम नहीं चाहते हैं. You are what? You are not eligible. Okay, so आप काम से हट जाओ. So listen, if people see that a particular representative is irresponsible to them, then they hold the power to call him back by the required strength of their majority. Here also the majority principle should be maintained. Yes or no? Okay. So if people see that a particular representative is irresponsible to them, okay, so वो दिल्ली चला गया है और नहीं आता है, okay, so we are sending him Delhi, but he is not listening our words. Then what we will do? We just hold the power to call him back by the what? Required strength of the majority. Are you getting my point, Pilamani? This is all about recall. Next, so here we have finished all the devices of direct democracy. Next, we will go to the second concept, second type of democracy, which is very prevalent, okay, which is most commonly seen in many democratic countries like India, USA, right? So this is indirect democracy. Next one is what? Indirect democracy. Okay, it is otherwise known as representative democracy. So we have to choose our representatives. This is otherwise known as representative democracy. In case of our state, constituent assemblies, we are electing MLAs, member of legislative assembly, member of legislative council, MLC, right? In case of parliament, we are electing the Lok Sabha MP, member of parliament, also where is also electing indirectly the Rajya Sabha MPs. Yes or no? So they are what? They are the representatives. Yes or no? They are the representatives. They are the representatives of the people. Okay, they have to represent the problems, the ideas, the proposals of the people in the a common we can say a common platform of the entire country. Okay. Then why indirect democracy? Pilamane, why indirect democracy? Why indirect democracy? Why indirect democracy? Because direct democracy can't be possible. It can be existed. What? In countries with large population or large territories, yes or no? In countries with large population, India has what? Large amount of population. So how to control the people's what? Common people's assembly. Okay. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? So direct democracy can be existed in all the countries. Why? Because the population is increasing day by day. Yes or no? Growth factor, development factor. Yes or no? So a representative form of democracy is that form of government. A representative form of democracy is that form of government, okay, in which legally sovereign people, legally sovereign people elect some representatives okay, who act on their behalf, ठीक है, उनके लिए जो काम करेगा, ठीक है, उसको चूज करना है लोगों का काम, ठीक है. सो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव फॉर्म ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी इज दैट फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट इन व्हिच legally sovereign people, they must be legally sovereign people. In our context there must be citizens, okay, there must be what, there must be an electorate means what, responsible citizens who can vote in the election process, right? So legally sovereign people elect some representatives. The representative in our context, in our country, the representatives maybe MLAs, maybe MPs, yes or no, who act on their behalf, on their मतलब people's behalf, yes or no, लोगों के लिए काम करना है उनको. Then next one is what, the representatives. What are the duties of the representatives? These representatives represent and articulate. These representatives represent and articulate the hopes, okay, the hopes and aspirations of the people. The hopes and aspirations of the people who have voted them. See the words, okay. These representatives represent and articulates the hopes and aspirations of the people. See the words, hopes and aspirations of the people. So these are the words. That's why political science is charming. Yes or no? Okay. So hopes and aspirations of the people. हमारे मतलब आपके ऊपर हमारा भरोसा है. Yes or no? That's why we have chosen you for the parliament, and you must have to do some better for us. Yes or no? So that's why we are sending to you to the platform of the common platform. Okay. So hopes and aspirations of the people who have voted them. Yes or no? These representatives, once again I am repeating, these representatives represent what? Represent and articulate what? The hopes and aspirations of the people who have voted them. Yes or no? हमारे एरिया में ये होना चाहिए, मेडिकल होना चाहिए, एक मेडिकल कॉलेज एस्टेब्लिश होना चाहिए, राइट? यहाँ पे रोड नहीं है, रोड बनाओ. Yes or no? These are the common demands. Yes or no? These are the hopes and aspirations of the people. Safe drinking water, transportation facilities, establishment of universities. So these are the hopes and aspirations of the people, right? 5T, right? Indirect democracy. Indirect democracy is indirect. You have to also write this point. Why it is known as indirect? Why it is indirect? Why indirect democracy is indirect? Very good question. There is a 2-mark question that is coming in an examination paper. I think what most probably it is coming. Why indirect democracy is indirect? Indirect democracy is indirect because the people don't exercise power. The people don't exercise power by themselves. The people don't exercise power by themselves, but elect those who are to govern on their behalf. Okay. Are you clear? So this is all about, dear students, this is all about indirect democracy, and this is all about also for today's class. Yes or no? So what we have studied today, we discussed about types of democracy. 2 types of democracies are there: direct democracy, indirect democracy. Okay, in case of direct democracy, we have discussed about the 3 devices. Those are that is what? Referendum, initiative, and recall. And this is all about indirect democracy. Okay, students, these online classes, we are trying our level best. Okay, in these online classes, we are trying our level best to provide important informations regarding your topic, regarding all subjects of you. But I think this is not sufficient. You have to take admission in our institute. Yes or no? You have to come to us and you have to feel the charming. Okay, class में जो पढ़ाना होता है वो it is different. Yes or no? So simply to take admission in our institute, you must have to contact Shyam Sir. Listen, Shyam Sir, right? And his number is what? 9090768267. Yes or no? 9090768267. Yes or no? Then you also mail us through our mail ID, the artsquare@gmail.com. Okay, so dear students, this is all about today. Okay, prepare for the best. Yes or no? Never lose hope. Okay, there is always hope. Yes or no? So for today, this is it. Thank you.